Welcome to this introduction and to the first in a series of videos created to provide interested persons with a source of greater understanding about our lives and our existence here as considered from a more spiritual point of view. Let me begin by saying that if you're interested in developing or becoming more aware of your own inner spirituality or in learning more about the mysteries of life, death, and the universe, then continue, because you've come to the right place. If you're a bit uncertain whether or not you may find the subjects here to be of interest, then perhaps you will stay with me as I mention each of the areas to be discussed in the series in order to allow you to see if any of those subjects seem to strike a resonant chord somewhere within you. If that should be the case, then I hope you'll watch those videos of interest, or better yet, watch each of the videos in turn, so that you'll have a more complete understanding of the information provided in this series. Otherwise, I thank you for stopping by, and if you should develop a greater interest in learning more about these mysteries sometime in the future, then please bring up this introductory video again to allow you to view in order all the videos in this particular series. For those of you who have decided to proceed, please accept my sincere welcome. I believe that you've chosen wisely. Perhaps when you've progressed a bit further, you will want to mark these videos as one of your favorite places so that you can return as often as you wish. May I also say, however, before you begin, that even though while viewing you may encounter certain names, events, and or periods of time that no longer seem to be current, I would nevertheless encourage you to continue with an open mind and heart, because the concepts, principles, and ideas put forth herein that are the heart and soul of these videos are both ageless and timeless, and will continue to have much to offer the seeker or even the inquiring viewer in time to come, despite the fact that certain persons, events, or situations may no longer seem to be pertinent in your current day and time. I hope that you'll come to consider these videos and the quiet understanding that the words here seem to impart to you as your own private garden, created with many gates so that you may enter whenever you please at the gate of your choosing. You can do so simply by beginning an exploration of the video covering the subject of your choice. Although each video will provide insight on a different subject from a mystical or spiritual point of view, each also, like the flowers in a garden, becomes an important part of the whole. Indeed, just as all of the flowers planted for that purpose come together to make a garden complete, so too do the various videos here come together to tell a story that may not seem quite complete until you have seen them all. So once again, welcome to a place where you can lean back, relax, and bask in the warmth of whatever light that we together may be able to shed on the world from here. While we're considering the world, you may find it worthwhile to discover a deeper understanding of the colors of our world by watching the video which covers that subject. Perhaps you will be interested in learning about the positive message that movie makers have been inspired to include in many of the movies released over a great many years by viewing the video on that subject. On the other hand, you may be a book enthusiast. Reading can be very enjoyable and worthwhile pastime. Please note, however, that some of the titles among the many available are not just run-of-the-mill books. If you're among those who think of themselves as a student on the path, or if you'd like to be such a person, you may very well find a great deal of benefit and enjoyment from reading the books in the video with our book list, as others before you have done. Are you a poetry buff? If so, you may enjoy listening to some of our poems in the video on poetry. We believe that you'll find them interesting and perhaps quite enlightening. Have you ever given any thought to the real meaning behind one or more of the disciplines of alchemy, the Kabbalah, or the Tarot? Although many people think of them as being very different and perhaps even without any worthwhile spiritual content, You may be surprised to learn of the common theme that they all contain. The videos on those subjects will tell you more. Speaking of common themes, did you ever think about the possibility that there may be a commonality in all of life that most people do not realize? Even such seemingly diverse realms as religion, science, philosophy, and politics contain within themselves a single thread or central idea that weaves over, under, around, and through them all. It is sometimes more visible, sometimes less, but it points out the fact that these institutions collectively have a central purpose that remains constant, as is discussed in the video on that subject. By the way, what do you know about the many world religions? Do you have any interest there? As you might imagine, even they have a common characteristic that you may find interesting as you watch that video. All of these interesting themes and the relationships that tie many of them together are a reminder that there are many ideas and thoughts that share common concepts, that is. Various names and symbols have been used over and over again throughout the centuries to represent those concepts and keep them before our consciousness so that we don't forget their importance. They're therefore sometimes placed together in specific groupings in a manner that often helps us to better understand their relationships. This particular manner of grouping is what many people call tables of correspondences. Those tables are a bit difficult to discuss in a video, but you can see them as part of the website at www.humbleseeker.org. Do any of the above-mentioned subjects sound interesting, intriguing, or even downright fascinating? Then I urge you to watch each of the videos following this one, because you may very well be inclined toward a way of thinking and living that long ago took another aspirant down the path to his destiny. You can read his story in a special book called The Pilgrim's Progress that is also mentioned in a bit more detail in these videos. As you may have surmised by now from the tone of this video, it is the intention of the speaker to extend a warm welcome to all visitors. If you should find after visiting, however, that the thoughts and ideas expressed here are completely different from your own beliefs, it is hoped that you'll not be offended. These ideas and thoughts have been placed here primarily for those who watch what has been stated and find that the words somehow strike a very resonant chord within themselves, and they want to proceed still further. If you're not such a person, or if you disagree with what is here or somehow find it offensive, it was not so intended. It is, however, intended by the speaker that these videos convey a focus on the Christ and the teachings thereof as understood by me, and to also focus on making the viewer aware of the major upcoming conflict for our planet. Please be aware, though, that just as you may not be interested in the ideas that are here, I trust that you will be understanding when I say that I'm equally not interested in debating those ideas. Your visit, however, is very much appreciated. If you are a seeker, if what is stated here does strike a resonant chord within your being, it is hoped that you'll find here a few things to think about, to absorb, and perhaps even to consider in your periods of meditation. You may even find that you'll want to proceed still further in order to learn more about such subjects as consciousness and communication with your higher self. Perhaps together we'll even be able to shine a little light into some previously dark corners. While you're thinking that over, you might also decide whether or not you would like to do a bit of additional viewing in order to find out more about the concept of reincarnation. Perhaps while you're in the neighborhood, you may also want to learn something more about the answers to a few of life's really important questions. Questions like, where do we come from? Where do we go? Why are we here? What's the purpose of this life? If you're interested in finding a greater understanding regarding the answers to any of these questions, then all you need to do is ask the one question about life that includes all of these. Namely, what is this thing called life? These videos will explore different aspects of all of these subjects and more. You may also want to learn about the beautiful beings that we call angels. Once you've finished watching that video, however, I believe that as a true seeker, you may be even more interested in learning about the person who is the master of the Aquarian Age, the person who is one with and who brings to our planet the return of the universal Christ. Before you say so long for now, however, there's one more group of videos that I hope you'll watch. They've been created just to provide a quiet place where you can look through a list of the questions that have been asked by visitors who have passed through these portals before you. The answers that they were provided have also been included here, just in case they might be of interest to some later traveler, perhaps even you. I hope and trust that as a sincere seeker, you will not want to skip this last part of the video series. Some of the most helpful and most significant information in the series has been provided here for your benefit. I believe that you will find it to be both interesting and worthwhile. It is a list of the most frequently asked questions and their answers that I keep in the Frequently Asked Questions video. I would like to say at this time that I am very pleased and also very grateful for the time that you've chosen to spend here. It is my fond hope that you are as pleased as I am that you decided to take some time to smell the roses that have been cultivated here for your enjoyment. If you've watched the complete series of videos thoroughly, then you very likely know that there is also a much more serious reason that these videos were created. If you haven't yet seen the video that talks about the series' deeper purpose, then I hope that you'll return soon and do so. I believe that you'll find it to be worthwhile. By the way, you may find information or names here that differ from your own understanding. It's been found that many reference works differ about such things. I invite you to tell your friends about these videos, and I ask that you visit again anytime you feel the urge. I would like to advise you at this time that the information in this series of videos is copyrighted and is intended only for the personal study and for no other use. Thank you for watching this introductory video, and I now invite you to watch video number 2 on the subject of light. Again, my sincere thanks.